Good evening, everyone. We appreciate you joining us today for our latest TechTonic session despite your busy schedules. And I hope all of you all have had a great day so far. And we are obviously thrilled to have Ovini leading our TechTonic session today. So a little bit about Ovini. Ovini brings a wealth of experience to the table and having been with Wavenet for over 9 years and witnessing its incredible evolution. So today she'll be exploring the transition from the industrial revolution to digital transformation era and ultimately introducing one of Wavenet's revolutionary products called Compose. So stay with us till the end and we'll show you how Compose simplifies your digital journey, benefiting both MSPs and enterprises. So before we jump on to our session, we will have a few dedicated minutes for Q&A session at the end. And so feel free to type your questions in the chat box throughout the session as well. And of course, you can use the last couple of minutes to raise your hand and ask questions as well. So Vinny, welcome. How are you doing today?
Very good, Karen. And welcome everyone. And thank you for joining our webinar today. So our goal for this session is to show like how organization in any domain can stay competitive in a fast changing environment by thinking and acting like a software company. So today, like we are living in an exciting time where technology is evolving at a lightning speed. So every day we see new innovations that are reshaping how we live, work, and connect with each other. So just to give you let me quickly run through our agenda today. So we'll start with a quick look at the history of the industrial revolutions to how to understand like how we got here. Then we'll talk about digital transformation, what it is, why it's important, and how it can help your business grow. And also, I would like to share some real world examples of companies that have successfully transformed themselves. Finally, I will give kind of introduction to one of Wavenet's powerful platforms, Compose, which enable you to think like a software company and simplify your digital transformation journey. So thought of starting the session with this slide because just imagine a world where technology is advancing faster than we ever thought possible. So we are in an era like that. So according to OpenXO, they say that this decade will be amazing because we are experiencing 25 plus Gutenberg moments. So if you look at the technologies that we experience right now, wearable tech, nanotechnology, AI, ML, then drones, robotics, 3D printing, like we are about to see like 20,000 years of progress in just 100 years. So how amazing is that? So that rapid growth will transform industries, economies, and our everyday lives. So today we're going to take a trip down memory lane to understand how we got there. So feel free to ask questions. And if you have any interesting stories that you would like to share, please share so that this webinar will be more interactive and interesting. So let's start with the industrial revolutions. So I want to initiate the discussion with you today from the story of the industrial revolutions. So many of you may already be familiar and experienced with them, and some of you might not have even experienced their impacts firsthand. But however, it's always beneficial to understand this history to kick off a meaningful discussion about where we are today and where we are heading. So what is the Industrial Revolution? The Industrial Revolution is a time when big changes in technology, industry, and society happened. So changing how people live and work. So these changes happened in different stages, each with major new invention that changed the businesses and economies a lot. So let's look at first Industrial Revolution. So when the first industrial revolution was happened in 1700 to 1800, so it simply moves us from the muscle power to steam power, which means at that time agriculture was very popular. So from agricultural industry to industrial, like steam power. So that's kind of a big shift. Like most of the things happen in England. To give you a bit about the history, like the story behind that. So it happened in England there was coal in that country. So because of the excessive energy, fairly drove many innovation. So especially in the areas of fashion, clothing, and agricultural industry. So the emergence of steam engine with mass extraction of coal moved people from agricultural society to cities and industries. So railway was one of the biggest inventions in first industrial revolution. And so these innovation gave people the flexibility to move from one place to the other. So towards the end of the 19th century, we discovered the new source of energy like electricity, gas, oil. So as a result, the internal combustion engine was discovered. So all these times we were doing stuff using steam, right? The invention of combustion engine revolutionized the size of the device turned into a small piece. So it has revolutionized the whole transportation industry, the connectivity between people, and so electricity and railway were the biggest invention in that area. Also, chemical synthesis, automobile, telegraph, and telephone, all these inventions were discovered at the beginning of the 20th century. So as a summary, these industrial revolutions, the first and second industrial revolutions, have more reaching consequences to the entire human civilization. So it was disrupting the way of life of people who was farming. Right? So technology just disrupted their lifestyle, like now creating new factories, so people moving from villages to cities. So the whole farming lifestyle was disrupted by these technologies. So there was a good side of it as well as a bad side of this industrial revolution. So what are the bad sides? One thing, if you can see that I wanted to put a picture also in the presentation, the child labor. So because of employment of children in factories with long hours and because of hazardous conditions, the child labor was like criticized in first and second industrial revolutions. The second one is poor working condition because the factory environments were congested, the factory environments was not safe and unhealthy. It led to like frequent accidents and health issues as well. And urban overcrowding, environmental degradation, those are like the bad side of first and second industrial revolution. So second half of the 20th century, like we were getting nuclear energy. So you know the nuclear bombing in Nagasaki, the Oppenheimer who found the nuclear bomb, all those stories are very familiar to us. So then where the rise of the electronics kicks off, right? The third industrial revolution brought some incredible technological breakthroughs. Think about the microprocessors, like those tiny chips, like, that revolutionized the computing power. Right? Then the personal computers became the household items. Like we usually bring those powerful computing into our homes and offices. And then, of course, in 1990, the internet got liberalized. So an invention that connected the world like never before. Because of internet, we entered into an information age. So digital data became the new currency. So the software development companies exploded and they create different tools and applications that power today's business. And the other thing is the global collaboration. So global collaboration became the norm and the teams working seamlessly across continents. So many industrial revolutions happened in the third industrial revolution. 4IR. Anybody knows what is 4IR? So obviously you can see that 4IR in the sense fourth industrial revolution. So fourth industrial revolution is happening right now. I don't know whether you will believe it. Sometimes we might not feel it because it's happening incrementally around us. But the point that I'm going to make here is we are living in an industrial revolution. So best example is ChatGPT or AI. So you've seen for the last 1.5 years how much AI has disrupted our lifestyle. But of course, like if you take AI, the technology is very old, like it's about a good 10, 15 to 20 years old. But the technology has slowly evolved. Now we got into a stage where AI is around us. Basically, AI is used in consumer settings. So anybody who wants to experience the AI in first hand, so they can use ChatGPT. Or there are numerous AI applications that the consumers, the end consumers, can feel the power of AI. So the revolution is gonna change the way the society is gonna behave much more than the other three revolutions. So if you look at the picture down here, the cyber physical world. So we need to understand what is this cyber physical systems when we are talking about fourth industrial revolution. So cyber physical systems are the systems that merge digital world, physical world, and biological world. So which means like those three worlds merge together. So in the intersection, we call it a cyber physical system. So they are like having computers or smart technologies embedded in a physical object. So enabling them to interact with each other and with even interact with people in real time. So for example, smart cities, connected healthcare, advanced manufacturing are some examples. So that is called industrial revolution. So would like to touch upon some the impact of each industrial revolution as well. So the first three industrial revolutions empowered the corporations or businesses, right? But if you look at Industrial Revolution 4.0, so 4.0 is doing that actually empowering the individual. So 1.0 to 3.0 focus on efficiency, productivity, and maximizing the output, mechanization, mass production, like automation were the primary goals. And success was measured by like increased production, like economic growth, so on and so forth. But if you look at Industry 4.0, it's focused to ethical, sustainable, and inclusive practices. So it incorporates the technology to not only increase the efficiency, but also to address global challenges. So the success is measured by positive social and environmental impact. So if you closely look at the first three industrial revolutions, they focused on doing things right by enhancing efficiency and productivity. But if you look at Industry 4.0, it focuses on doing the right thing, like by integrating ethical, sustainable, and inclusive practices. So this is a very interesting chart. Like if you look at 9,000 years ago, right? 9,000 years ago, how slowly we've grown versus how fast we've grown since 18th century. This is called exponential growth for humanity. So this is going to get steeper and even steeper with the introduction of frontier technologies like AI and all of that, right? So when the new inventions are coming into the play, so even this will get steeper and steeper. So as an organization, to stay ahead of the curve, we need to be proactive in adopting new technologies. AI, IoT, and other frontier technologies are not just trends right now, but essential tools for staying competitive. So every organization, regardless of the domain, like it can be like apparel industry, banking industry, or it can be even some other domain, but you have to invest in R&D and continuously innovate and integrate these technologies into your operations. Otherwise, what will happen is you will be irrelevant. So this is a light bulb factory in London, 1910. So you can see like there are many people working in the factory. In the picture, you can't see that it's congested, but actually, if you look at factories in year 1900, the factories were congested with human, right? Compare that picture with something like this. This is the Tesla factory. So I'm going to play a video for a few minutes. So I think the video is about 3 minutes. We don't have that much enough time. So I will play it for 1 minute. Let me know whether. I think you can't hear the sound, but that's okay. I just wanted to play this video for a while. So I'm going to stop here because we don't have much time to we have like 40 to 50 minutes to complete this. So you can watch this video later. So what I want you to do is to compare this picture with this video. Right. So this is the Tesla factory. The car comes out with no human intervention. Like human will only be involved in monitoring and observing the quality of the car when it comes out of the assembly line. So the main difference between these two pictures, humans. So these will tell the technology today and how rapidly the technology is changing. So now we have like kind of smart machines, sensors in them connected to network and talking to each other. So they can diagnose their own problems and alert someone that something is going wrong within the machine. And the other thing is we have big data. So these machines generate huge amount of data. So now we can use and analyze, and even we can use things like AI and ML to make sense of these data. And we can do things like predictive maintenance, where a machine or assembly line will tell us it might be going to break down next day or so. So we can fix this thing before it ever happens. And interconnected supply chains. For example, ships are talking to warehouses. Ships are talking to trucks. And it also enables to have more intelligent robots enabled to unload and pack things up. And in the US, they use Starship robots to deliver stuff, self-autonomous cars. So now I'm pretty sure that we all have to believe we are going through a big industrial revolution. So when we are learning about industrial revolution, we need to learn about the digital transformation. How can a business or an organization transform digitally, right? So for that, you need to lay out the right digital strategy to your organization. So when it comes to laying out the right digital strategy to your organization, we need to have the right understanding on the digital transformation process. So these are subtly different types of initiatives that you should be aware of. So what I want to talk about is what are these differences are in these concepts, and how can you use these understanding to help and navigate to create the right sort of digital strategy that makes like more sense for your organization. So the first concept is the digitization. So the first of three steps in any sort of a digital initiative is digitization. So digitization is actually something that started in the 70s, 18s, I think it goes up to 1990s. So when computers were first being adopted by organizations throughout the world, right? Probably the easiest way to make you understand or summarize the digitization is the evolution of paper-based business processes and information to be computerized. Example, let's take, if you think about accounting, back in 1970, the accounting and general ledgers were tracked on papers, right? I think 1970 till 1990, the organization tried to computerize their accounting so they can access this information digitally. So what happened? Why it matters? So they can preserve the preservation of original documents, easy sharing, or even they can reduce the physical storage spaces. So that is called digitization. Digitalization means is taking digitization in one step further. So that's not only we are putting information on a computer now. Now we are changing the way that we do business, the workflows. So we are leveraging the technologies in a way that allow us to think how we do business. So beginning in 1980s and 1990s, manufacturing organization forecast demand. Production planning becomes automated, enhancing customer interaction through digital channels. So that is called digitalization. So if you look at most of our organizations, maybe in between the digitalization and digital transformation, because just doing some computerizing your data or leveraging some technologies to automate your process doesn't mean that you have digitally transformed. So digital transformation is a third of this process, right? Which means convert your entire business operation, right, in a digital environment. So it means the comprehensive view of the organization, like not just leveraging technologies, but most importantly, improve business processes, improve people, and organizational structures to fully transform the business. So now we are looking at a very comprehensive view of people, processes, and technologies. So data transformation cannot be done overnight. It has a step-by-step process. And also it's not all about technology. It's about process, people, come hand in hand. So I know this is very fundamental, but need to have these concepts in our head before trying out any digital strategy. And also important thing is any organization who doesn't want to digitally transform, how big the organization is, it can't survive in the future, because you can see the digital disruptions that is happening today. The other point that I would like to talk about is the customer. The customer has been the king since the start of the economy, right? But now the king has a lot of expectations from how he wants to be served. So this is about the customer and the customer experience. Simply means the way customer wants to be served today is very different from a decade ago. They want the best experience. What is this best experience? The best experience comes from a combination of your organization brand, product, and services. Simply, the intersection is called the best customer experience, which you can provide with right digital strategy. So digital transformation gives you the chance to delight your customers. In simple terms, digital transformation allows you to offer personalized services, tailor-made experiences, and making them feel special. So digital transformation is one of the way that you can give the best customer experience to your organization. So this is a very interesting example. So I would like to, just give you kind of a story, about Nike. So how Nike transformed before the pandemic and how they reaped the technology benefit during the pandemic. It's the story, right? So before 2019, Nike realized that their market share was declining. And they were having a lot of problems in terms of new competition coming in, and the existing brands catching up, and overall the wholesale market share was going down. So at one point, they realized that they were not harnessing the power of digital and internet. Because at that time, Nike has their flagship stores, and they were just selling the shoes, the sport shoes and the sport items, and that's it. They were not, leveraging the technologies at that time. Then they thought, okay, we are going to change. So they completely revamped their e-commerce strategy, and they invested a lot on customer insights. So they gathered a lot of data, and they do some visualization, and also they invested a lot on sophisticated tools. So the idea would be they wanted to know their customer better, right? Without knowing your customer, obviously they can't understand what they can offer. So they worked a lot to understand their customer by investing a lot on those comprehensive analytics. After getting to know their customer, they also wanted to know their digital customer. Who is my digital customer? Who is my social media savvy customer? Who are Gen Zs? Basically, those kind of demographics that they didn't understand before. So they successfully identified all those stuff, and as a result, they started to transform their digital journey before the pandemic. So make a point, they started this digital journey before the pandemic. So they thought of deploying AR technologies, and came up with one of its kinds of concepts, retail stores, and even they launched some stores in metaverse as well. They simply wanted to leverage all the digital technologies into their processes. The beauty is the real results came when the COVID pandemic hit in 2020. Right? So when the COVID pandemic hit in 2020, most of the organization in the Nike space were not doing well, right? Because the stores are closed and people are not working out. Nobody was jogging and people were at home. So all those companies in the Nike space had a dreadful year. Surprisingly, Nike stocks increased by 11%. I mean, being 2020 a dreadful year, they had a very decent sales run. So how did they do that? So as I told you before, they started their digital transformation journey before COVID. They were ready. They hit the ground running. So despite the customer were not working out or jogging, they leveraged the power of social media to keep their users engaged. And I don't know whether you know, they have like, many mobile application like Nike Training Club application, Nike Running Club application. So they use their universal apps to interact with the customers. And even they created some podcasts to get people to work out in homes. So they use certain push notifications to engage and encourage the customers to work out. So simply, they wanted to have their customer engagement throughout the period on different digital strategies. So this is how Nike successfully digitally transformed to give the best experience to the customer and how they reap the benefit with all the consequences that they were simply ready to accept whatever the challenge. So what I want to make the point here is it doesn't matter how big your company is. If you don't adapt the technologies at the right time with the right strategies and started to transform digitally, you will be irrelevant. And you might have to even close down your business. With the it is happening because with the impact of the amount of digital disruption happening today and in future. So, building a digital transformation strategy. So that's why I told you at the right time you need to create your digital transformation, digital strategy, right? So digital transformation basically creates the value on three different areas. The digital strategy that you have to build will be around the system of intelligence. So value creation, customer satisfaction, and business continuity are the purposes of digital transformation. So how can you do a value creation by reducing cost or to improve efficiency, and even you can disrupt. You can disrupt the market with a new invention and grow. At the same time, customer satisfaction. It can be your internal customers or it can be external customers, even citizens, by giving 24/7 self-service, or it can be quick time to market. Stay relevant. And even how do we make sure that the business continuity? How do we make sure that that with different circumstances, how can the business continue on its own with a remote controlling capability? So to build the right digital strategy, you need to have a good toolkit, like simply a technical ecosystem. So as a tech company, Wavenet, we've been able to help many customers, right? Small to medium enterprises, like, telcos, like group level telcos, to simplify their journey. So let's look at how we can do this in my next sections. Before that, I would like to, take you through some industry concepts, right? So I thought of extracting this great article from McKinsey in 2022. And I have seen this, this concept is being discussed in many forums. So thought of this is relevant for today. So what they say is to compete and grow in a digital world, traditional companies must adopt a software-driven approach, which means embracing digital technologies is no longer optional, but essential for survival and success. So it says every company is a software company. So it can be like you're in apparel domain, or you're in health domain, or it can be you're in a insurance domain. But every company should think that we are a software company. You need to embrace technologies. So 3 fundamentals are discussed in this article. One thing is purchase experience through everything from personalization to seamless omni-channel delivery. So you need to think about this omni-channel delivery and how can you give a personalized service to your customer. And the second one is the product and services, like more of the value in products and services are coming from softwares. And the third one is the growth of cloud computing, platform as a service, low-code and no-code tools, and AI-based programming assistants are putting a lot of power into the hands of billions of employees or the workers in your company. So embracing digital technology, I'm telling over and over again. So embracing the digital technology is no longer optional, but essential for survival and success. So you need to select and choose the right technological ecosystem where you can you don't have to worry about the technology, but you need to focus on how you make your customer happy. So this is a very good example that I took from different forums, and even there are posts from Gartner and views from IDC as well. So if you look at a technical team in a company, they spend most of their time on actually creating a platform, right? When you think, okay, we want to digitally transform today onwards, what they will do is they will try to create that backend platform so that they can build the digital experience. They are not even thinking of building the digital application or giving the digital experience to the customer, but they are busy with doing the digital platform, creating the digital platform. But that thinking is fundamentally wrong, because the technical team also should focus on the digital experience that they are giving to the customer, because that is the main thing that they need to focus on. If I'm a bank or an operator customer care improving digital team, why would I worry about load balancing, like API integration, omnichannel orchestrations, maybe omnichannel enablement? Rather, I should be spending my quality time on building diverse digital experience use cases. So imagine how easy if company DevOps team signs up and they had the toolkit, they build application while they don't want to worry about all underlying technology. The question is how we get there. So the platform engineering is the easiest way to get there. So this concept, the platform engineering concept, is widely discussed, was there in the industry for a few years ago. What do you mean by platform engineering? So the platform engineering means the concept of creating platforms that enterprises can focus on the layers above, right? So where I have put up two Gartner predictions and an IDC view on this. So read them when you have time. So simply, you don't have to worry about. So you don't have to worry about the platform. So there are so many software companies where we will take care of the platform. You focus on the application that gives best digital experience to your customers. So as a tech company, Wavenet, we've been able to help many customers, I told you before. We help a lot of telecom operators, like medium to small to group level companies, to simplify their journeys. So let's look at how we did this from our low-code rapid application development platform. So if you look at this Compose, we call this platform as it's a rapid application deployment platform. Why we call this is a rapid application deployment platform? So I'm going to connect my story with this, the previous story with this. So I told you, if you want to provide a digital experience to your customers, so you have to select the right chart. You have to select the right platform. So Wavenet Compose platform will give you all the necessary tools for you to give your customers the best experience. So there were a couple of items that I highlighted in the McKinsey article, right? Omnichannel experience, low-code, no-code tools, so AI-based programming assistance. So all those things are emerging. So that's why we wanted to introduce this tool to any organization who are looking to do different use cases where you want to when you during your digital transformation process, and I will tell you some important use cases that we have done with our customers earlier, so that you will understand how did they achieve the custom optimization, and how did they achieve reducing the complexity of their networks and quick time to market, and how did they achieve enhancing their customer experiences. So these are some statistics which we got from our customers because of this low-code platform. So this Compose is a low-code platform where you don't need to work a lot on the programming, because the heavy work is already done. Because of that, you can will provide fast time to market. And the other thing is 30% of reduction in OPEX and CAPEX. because I will just talk about these use cases later on. Uh, just to give you an overall view of our Compose platform, we have four main components that this will provide you to simplify your digital transformation journey. One thing is the omni-channel orchestration, which means when you want to interact with your customers, obviously you might have some automated bots or structured IVR flows where you usually get the customer interaction. So what we are doing from our platform is we would be able to, create your journey flows through multiple channels. That is one thing. And imagine you're a apparel company or a banking company where you have two systems. You have a new system introduced to your company, plus you have some legacy platforms that this new system can't communicate with the legacy platform because the API, the legacy platform stop communicate with the legacy APIs, and the latest platform communicate with REST APIs. So you are finding a lot of difficulty in the integration layer. So our platform has the capability to help you out in those integration problems as well. And API development. Imagine you have different applications, mobile application, where you need a platform to create APIs to expose to the other system. So we have the capability to do the API development and creating microservices. Likewise, there are couple of important modules embedded with our platform which give the availability to simplify your digital journey. So I'll go use case by use case because it's easy for you to grab the things that you can do on top of our Compose. So one thing is the optimization, the omnichannel customer engagement. So right now, enterprises face a bit of a challenge in unifying the customer experience across diverse communication channels. Maybe you're a company where you have the customer support through IVR channels, but you don't have the visibility or exposure on the digital channels. So if you want to enable it, you might need to go to a different vendor and enable that digital flow for you. So different vendors, right? So it results in a complicated architecture. So what we are trying to do here is we have the possibility to give you kind of omni-channel experience where the customer interactions will be seamless. So we will create all the services as a one backend logic, and we can orchestrate it through different multiple channels to give a consistent experience to the customers. So we have the capability to do IVR use cases, USSD flows, SMS flows in the legacy space, as well as WhatsApp, USSD, WhatsApp and Messenger, and even all the digital interactions with the customer in the digital channel space. So this is one of the way that we can optimize your customer journeys. The second one is how you can optimize the scalable applications. So one thing would be API development, which I explained you before. Maybe you have some different systems where you want to create APIs to communicate with each other. So the current problems that you have to wait is you might need to code. So you have to find the software engineers, and you need to spend a lot of hours and different languages. So you have to code and create an API. But with our low-code platform, you don't have to spend a lot of time. You can simply drag and drop the modules and create that API for you, right? And we will try to mitigate the integration problem through our platform. And the third interesting use case is the AI-powered virtual assistant. So this is pretty common today. Like if you talk to any of the businesses in Australia, you will feel like you're talking to a bot, you're talking to a live agent, but actually there is a bot behind the customer care center. So those AI-powered virtual assistants also can be created through our platform. It's just a form uploading where you will have a Word document. You can, add your requirements and API endpoints, and you can simply upload this document, and we will create an AI bot for you. So not only from one channel, it's also omni-channel. So you can have this bot enabled in legacy IVR channel or in digital channels as well. So the value propositions that you can create from this virtual assistants is interactive personalized experiences, and you can do cross-selling and upselling likewise, so on and so forth. You can give a lot of experience or best customer experience to your customers through a low-code platform. And the other thing is the monetization. So monetization means if anyone who is coming from an operator background or who has a DevOps team, maybe you have a customer base which who comes to you with different use cases, right? But you don't have a technology ecosystem to build those systems for them. So this is the ideal platform. So if you have a lot of enterprise connections and those enterprise customers has a lot of requirements and coming to you with new use cases, new innovative ideas, so this is the platform for you. So that this platform can be you can use this platform as a revenue generation tool where you can invite your enterprise customers to get the requirement from your enterprise customers, and you can build your use case on top of this platform. So this is one of the ways that you can monetize your innovative ideas. So that's all that I would like to cover today. And I hope you understood from the industrial revolutions to digital transformation, and how can you be a platformless company, and how an organization should be a software company, and you should do your digital strategies thinking that you are a software company. For that, there are so many tools available in the industry. So I wanted to take you through our Wavenet Compose tool, and if you would like to explore more about this tool, you can simply connect with us with Wavenet, so that we can give you another session on a complete demo on Compose, and it will help you to simplify your digital transformation journey. So thank you. And if you have any questions or any experience that you would like to share, so we can have a 5 to 10 minutes to discuss.
Right, so the platform is now open for any questions if you have. So you can use the chat box, or you can raise your hand and we can unmute you. Ovini, I have one question. Someone has said, I'm from the banking sector, currently part of the digital team. We currently provide customer support through call centers. I got interested by your omni-channel capability, which allows customers interaction across multiple platforms, because that is a major thing that we are facing a lot of troubles finding vendors, and it's costly as well. Also, I've noticed AI bots becoming quite popular. I'd like to know if we can implement similar features using your tool.
Yeah. So this is kind of a common requirement that we get from our customers, right? So omni-channel capability, because there are so many tools that you can create those simply the interaction flows from different tools, right? For example, if you want to create an IVR flow, you might need to talk to a legacy IVR vendor. Or if you want to have the WhatsApp channel enabled for you to interact with the customer, then you might need to find another vendor for WhatsApp. So this is a kind of common query. So that's why we have seen these pain points within our customers. That's why we wanted to have this tool enabled with omni-channel capability, which means so whatever the use cases that you want to create can be created using the drag and drop module. So the heavy lifting is done. Heavy lifting is done if you have a DevOps team, where you can simply use your DevOps team to create your use cases and orchestrated it through different channels. So the heavy lifting is done from our end, and it's just a matter of coming up with different use cases. Based on your use cases, use your DevOps teams and create your digital journey on top of our Compose. And if you're interested, we can even, have a demo session, prepared for you to showcase our omnichannel capability as well. Because if you really think about doing a core flow, without using a low-code platform, it would take months to create one application. But because of this low-code and omnichannel capability, you need to have only one backend logic. So you can do it within 1 day. And you can test it out and you can put it out the market. So that simplicity is already given through the platform itself. I hope I answered your questions, and if you need more clarity, just let me know that I can take you through the features and functionality in detail.
Right. Do we have any more questions? Okay, I think Eric. Yeah, so I will up you, Eric. Think you can talk now?
Yes, I will also put it in the chat. If a company or an enterprise has a developer community or DevOps teams, how can Compose support or how can they get access to it is number one. And then the number two question within that is, what are the deployment models which you all currently have?
Okay. So in terms of a company who has a DevOps team, so we're gonna do a big announcement next month. So our SaaS version is gonna be ready. So anybody who wants to play with our platform, so that you can simply use our SaaS version as well. So in case if you want to have a closed network, if you want to have this platform deployed in your private network, so we are we perform well in on-prem environment as well as public cloud, and even if you want to have kind of a hybrid environment deployment, so we are we equally well we perform well equally in all the deployment options. So that is the first question, right? So the second question is, Eric, it's the business model, right?
Yes, the deployment, like the deployment models, what you told. The other one is if there is a developer community or a DevOps team, how can Compose support it?
Yeah, so obviously, so when our SaaS model is ready, so any developer can simply log into our platform, and with a limited knowledge, they can simply do API creations, and they can create channel applications, and even we have the capability to deploy all those channel and API services as a microservice. So all those capabilities will be available for the developer community because it's just a low-code platform. So I don't think even from the SaaS release, we have the tutorials that they can read those tutorials, and easily they can reap the benefits of having those technologies from our platform.
Thank you.
All right. Do we have any more questions? All right. Okay. So yeah, I think that is it for the day. So a big thank you, Ovini, to you for sharing your incredible insights and knowledge, and especially about our product Compose. And thank you everyone for joining us today. Your valuable time, it's definitely very much appreciated. And for any questions, feel free to connect with Ovini or the Wavenet through to Wavenet on LinkedIn.